Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. For those who are new, welcome. And in today's video, guys, it's a little bit different. We never done this before, but we want to start our very first ever barrel roast with the horses because we thought they were ready. So we're going to get into that, but before we go any farther in today's video, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to our channel down below. Turn the notification bells on so you guys can watch our for real first rodeo. If you see the end of this video, know why I say for real first rodeo. But anyway, let's jump into today's video. Okay, so we hauled the horses to a local jackpot not too far from our house, and we loaded them up. They loaded fine. We got there about, the exhibition started at 5-ish.
We got there at 5:15.
We got there at 5:15, and our exhibition for our place is pay at gate, so you just walked up to the gate like, hey, I want an exhibition round, and then you wait a few minutes, and then you get to go. So we did 2 exhibition rounds. I went first, then Lauren went. We both did 2 exhibitions, so I'll pop up my first run at my first exhibition with Louise right here. Okay, so I just want to pop in real quick and let you guys know, I do know she's going very slow, but this is just an exhibition and her very first ever. And so now, after you saw that one, so for this one, when she got to the first barrel, she was like, oh crap, that moved, because she put her nose on it and breathed on it some. So she stopped behind it, and she's like, oh, And to the second barrel, the same thing happened, but instead of stopping, she did a little, like, mini rear hop thing. I don't know. Her feet just came off the ground. It was actually kind of funny.
Like
and kind of, yeah, it was super fun to actually ride, believe it or not. Anyway, so she did good, and then the third barrel, she did pretty well. Again, she just stopped behind it a little bit, and then she went. That was just an exhibition, and I did enter in her in the youth, so we are entered in that. So we'll have to see what we can do in that. But before that, here is our second exhibition run, and this one went a whole lot better. So let's go check that out. Okay, so here just around the third barrel, she did almost barely run shoulder into it, so I just made her kind of move away from it, and then I made her lope home. So this exhibition round went way better than the first one happened. However, it was not perfect, but we are working. This was her very first ever rodeo, so I'm very pleased, very happy about this one. Again, the first, second barrel, and third barrel still was a little unsure of it, but it was fine, and we liked it. And we are entered in the youth. Okay. So we'll see what happens there. We'll go into Lauren and Betsy's exhibition now. So here's me and Betsy's first exhibition run. Okay, so the first exhibition run, she kind of did good. The first one was actually better than the last one we did, but the first one on the second barrel, she goes really wide on those turns. Yeah. I have no clue why she just does. And the bit we were using was a very new bit. That was the first day we ever used it, so we warmed up in that bit, and then we rode in that bit all day. And I liked the bit, she liked the bit, I think. It's a little too big, so that's also another reason why she didn't turn as sharp as I would like her to. And then here's the second one. Okay, and on that second barrel right there, the reason why she slowed down a whole bunch and went super wide because I lost my stirrup, and that's the only reason why. Okay, so like I said in the second one, she does turn like way wider than the first one she did, but they're both really wide, and the second barrel was just our worst barrel on both of our runs. The third barrel was actually the best barrel we did, and the last run was the best barrel we've done. So I'm actually really pleased about that one because she got up and went after the third barrel, so I'm really pleased about that one. I think just overall, like both of our runs together were pretty decent and pretty good for our first ever exhibition run. And I'd like to add into it wasn't a real run, it was like a lope through because it was just exhibition, and again we are still entered in the youth. Okay you guys, so unfortunately the youth and the rest of the rodeo was canceled because it started downpouring. We actually did our exhibition run in the middle of a drizzle, and then after after the exhibition, then it was open ring, and in the middle of us riding open arena, it just like the bottom fell. Like it was drizzling, and we just thought, oh, it was just gonna help cool the horses off, you know, it'll help the dirt be nice and compact, like not compact, but it won't be like too loose. It was really deep, so we were hoping it was like kind of like smush it together a little bit. So it was super great, we thought. And then when open arena was, we were probably in the arena for like less than a minute, probably about we did like 40 seconds. Half a lap. Yeah. And my dad was, he's like, come on, let's go, because the bottom just fell out, and we were not risking our horses' legs. We didn't want to have to be miserable there and stay there all night in the pour down rain. The rodeo wound up getting canceled anyway, so we got our youth money back, but since we already did the exhibition, we didn't get exhibition money back. So we did do that, but like I said, unfortunately, the rest of the rodeo was canceled. So then we go back to the trailer, and there's jet flying. Okay, so then we go back to the trailer, and we tried to put Bessie in first, right? Or we put Louise in there? Tried Bessie first. We tried Bessie first, and she got it in there, but then like the bottom just fell out, and the trailer was super loud, and we were trying to put the butt bar up, and she couldn't, so she like just kind of like dropped on accident, so it made a loud like clanking noise and stuff, and Bessie just kind of got spooked. We're like, okay, we'll give Bessie a little break and let Louise get in first. So Louise trailer's in, she's fine. So then we're like, okay, it's Bessie's turn. Apparently she is scared, like when the like ramp gets really slick. It got really slick because of all that, the poop, the shavings, and all that. So when it got really slick, she was like, I'm not getting that trailer, no. So me and Brooklyn probably tried for a good 30 minutes just by ourselves. Sorry, this is when like the worst part of the entire rain had happened. Like the bottom was just, it was raining cats and dogs. Like if there was literal cats and dogs, I would have believed it, honestly. Okay, so that was like the worst of the rain when me and Brooklyn were trying to put her in the trailer. So we tried that for like 30 minutes just by ourselves, and eventually these two girls came over and they're like, can we help you do something? And so they tried, and they almost like kind of had her a little in, but I mean it wasn't enough to even put her in the trailer. So then another guy came over and was like, okay, let me show you how to do it. So then he tries, and let's just say she did not go in for either of them. And then so he tried, they both tried all together for like about another 10-20 minutes, and it was just not happening. So then my dad was like, okay, so you tell the story about the people. Okay, so as there were those two little, like the two ladies, and then that one man was trying to help us get the horses in the trailer, or Lauren's horse in the trailer, Bessie. Like 2 horse trailers down from where we were parked, we heard a man over in the side, and I'm not saying this to shame him or anything, but he was just like hollering, and he was angry. He was very angry because his horse, he got it loaded in the trailer, and then it wasn't acting right in the trailer, so then he backed the thing out of the trailer, made it listen, do some groundwork respect kind of stuff. I would just call it that because I don't want to get too much detail there. Because it's not our business. And then he loaded the horse back in the trailer, and the horse started listening, and then they were about to pull out and leave. My dad was like, you know what? He knows how to trailer a horse. He got that horse to come out of the trailer, do some respect, and then get back in the trailer and listen. He's like, we need that man's help. So he flagged him down. And fun fact, actually, he was the guy who painted our horse trailer for us, which is a super like weird thing, but it just happened. So he did that for our trailer before we even knew him, and then he helped us get the horses in the trailer, and like a whole other group of people came along with him. In total, 10 other people trying to help, because Bessie, when she's home and it's not, the bottom's pouring, it's not loud, and she didn't like get scared from slipping and stuff, she's fine, she'll get in the trailer. But when it comes to like raining and loud in there, we didn't really work on that yet. We were just working on like quiet trailering. and it was just like a quiet trailer when she was trailing. So she was fine with that. But when it started getting loud, she was like, oh crap, I've never heard this sound before. I'm in a box, I'm like shut in here. What do I do? So, they got her in the trailer, and then when we got home, actually both of the butt bars from either her moving around too much, or just hitting bumps or something, both of the butt bars came down. And if you don't know this about our trailer, one of the butt bars has to be up awful times because the divider, it's just bent from like the old owners. Apparently a horse sat in there and was not happy and like bent it. So if one's not on, it's like kind of lays down. So it was kind of just like resting on our horses. It wasn't like super laid down, like it just leans more towards one side. So one of the horses were like squished and the other one was like, yeah, I got lots of room. Bessie always has more room on her side just because the side was bent towards Louise. But we have to have them that way because we're not picking favorite horses, but that's the only side they load in. And that's, honestly, before we even knew that's the only side they load in, I picked the side Louise liked, and I picked the side Bessie liked. She picked the side Bessie liked. But then for like the first 2 days, only Louise would like just get closer to getting in Bessie's side than she would her side. And then it just like switched like out of nowhere. Yeah, and then out of nowhere she just wouldn't load into Bessie's side, but she jumped only So I was like, you know what, this is the meant to be side. I wanted this side in the beginning. She likes this side, and the same thing with Bessie and Lauren happened for that. Anyway, we're way off topic now. So our exhibitions went like great for their first ever like exhibitions kind of thing. We were very disappointed that they got rained out. But there is another radio coming up very soon, so we might record that. We actually will record that, and it might be posted soon, or it might be down the road later for like just newer content and stuff. It honestly all depends on how well Bessie will be doing with the trailer by the time the radio comes around. I want to make sure she's good with like rain, like hitting the trailer before we go somewhere else, because there's always that chance that it's gonna rain that day when you're at the rodeo, and we don't want to be back in the same situation and not having people there. So So anyway, I think I would give my horse a 10 out of 10 out of her very first ever rodeo barrel race kind of experience, even though she didn't get to run the youth, but she did do exhibitions, and they were both well like behaved and phenomenal. Like literally, we were probably there for less than 5 minutes. We walked up to the arena to watch some exhibitions happen, see what it was like. Let me just tell you, like 2 or 3 people fell off their horses. Yeah, so the very first girl who went out after we got up there, her horse, at the very first barrel it went to do its exhibition turn at, and it started crow hopping and throwing her. You just saw her legs go whoop, and then she just was on the side falling. Yeah, and the horse was running around the barrels. No shame to her, like it was a hard thing to stick. And she got thrown, but then she got back up, got her horse, and they did several exhibitions throughout the night, and the horse was fine. And then there was another little girl, and her reins broke in the first barrel, and the horse jumped. Stuck it. Like she stuck it to her. Yeah, she stuck it, and then we're like, oh crap. Those are like 2. Well, both of those horses look pretty young. Like I know for sure the little girl's horse was 4, and then that other girl, she probably had a young horse. We don't know the age of it, but we're just guessing. Good look, but Anyway, they were very well behaved. All they did was like yell, like not yell, but like whinnied at the other horses. They're very well behaved. They for their first time to every single command we asked them to do. I'm gonna get in the trailer. Except for that one, and Louise did fine with that. Just saying. And honestly, it was hilarious when Bessie would not load, and she was like walking the trailer, and the trailer was like going like this and shaking and making noises. Louise was just standing there eating her alfalfa hay, like, like did not care at all. That's where the end of today's video. Sorry about that. Family interruption. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to like it, subscribe, and click that post notification bell. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.